I'm TJ Sweeney. I'm 16 years old and I live in Gahanna, Ohio. I'm currently working on a project that focuses on our political divide, the political divide of America. To some, America is the greatest country on earth, and to some, we have more problems than a third world country. So there's a lot of room for disagreement in our politics now. And I'm no expert on our political divide, obviously, but I am a teenager growing up in America's current society, so I do feel that I have some knowledge and I have done some research that will help me, navigate this field. It is said that America will never be defeated from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedom, it will come from the inside. And that was by the great Abraham Lincoln. So, ever since, a few years ago when the insurrection happened, and recently in our politics where nobody seems to like even talk about why do we base friendships off of and most importantly, why do we let politics divide us? And then to start, our political divide, I would say one of the biggest things is, the two parties in America. If something's going wrong, the parties do take the blame. We have a bad economy, oh, it's the Democrats, or, something else is going wrong, the Republicans' fault. Everybody kind of has some background information on the Republicans and Democrats, but, Republicans are also known as the GOP. And they're kind of more known for their economic ideals and preserving American values and traditions. And then they kind of want to keep the American dream alive for everybody. Democrats are kind of known as the futuristic party in America, wanting ideals for everybody. They're the party who kind of all the minorities kind of vote for the Democrats. So that kind of brings me to another point. Are we politically divided just because we are in political parties? Political parties can make people feel like they have to vote one way. Political parties make party line voting very common. And if you don't feel a certain way about a certain topic that the political party agrees with, it can kind of distort your mindset and kind of, make you resent that party even though you're a part of it. So political parties really can make people just hate the other side. However, everybody has their reasons for why they hate people. And I think what I'm really trying to figure out is why we hate political parties and why we don't like the other side and why we can't respect the other political party. And one of those reasons is definitely has to do with the media. The media is very powerful, and it can make people think that they are in the right. For example, confirmation bias is evident on social media. It's everywhere. 70% of Americans get their news from Facebook, Instagram, or I guess even Snapchat. But confirmation is kind of like-minded people, and then they kind of enforce their beliefs. If I were a Republican and I see something about, banning abortions, I'm going to like that because that feeds into my mindset. So that keeps me going and it keeps my mindset thriving. And I think that I'm in the right because other people agree with me. Surely I can't be wrong. And when everybody thinks they're in the right, they're not wrong in their minds because education works in a funny way. Everybody likes to say that the other party is uneducated, but this simply isn't true. Nobody is uneducated. Miseducated, I would definitely agree. I think there are lots of people that are miseducated on certain issues and other things like this. But that's where the confirmation bias comes in. That's where you can get these neo-Nazis and things similar to that wouldn't normally exist, but now they do because there's a few people maybe in North Dakota that are neo-Nazis and then maybe in South Carolina, right? And they come together and, they finally fit in, so they think they're in the right. And this is very dangerous because it can create things like the insurrection and it can make people think that they are in the right because they truly believe everything. Nobody is uneducated. They are miseducated. That is what I'm trying to get across. And this is where it gets really dangerous because people just start to, hate and dislike the party. And as Forbes magazine writer Peter Green warns us, the true trouble of politicizing problems is that it puts the focus on everything but solving the issue and fixing the problem. So we basically get nothing done except for just point fingers and say, you're stupid, you're an idiot, and I don't agree with your policies. And that can be just like really terrible for society because we start to value who's right and who's wrong more than actually fixing the problem, which is just a disservice to our American citizens. The politicians will argue about policy ideas and stuff, but then nothing happens and we can't get anywhere. We can't even test policies because nothing's going to get passed when nobody agrees. So we simply just kind of wait around and wait for something to pass, and it very rarely happens. In the end, it's hard to say what really divides us. It could be anything. It could be party line voting. It could be social media, or it could be political polarization. It could be anything. The only thing that we really know is that it's us. We're the ones that are divided. It's not somebody else. It is us that is divided. But I still think that we can change that. Obviously, I'm just a 16-year-old growing up in Ohio, and as naive as it may sound, I believe that we can kind of turn this thing around. I see a day, hopefully not too far, where, politics don't matter as much. And I think that will take a while because being correct in politics is very important to everybody now. So it will be very hard for us to just simply put aside all of the hate that we've had for the other party for so long. But I think it's possible. I think that it starts right now with all of us. And that in order to beat political polarization and divide, we need to kill our hate for the other party. And we need to let this political divide become a story for the history books. Thanks.